Unforgettable experience. Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get hype.
What's going on, Dallas Cowboys universe? Welcome to another special episode of the Late Night Hype. It's really the midday hype, for real, for real. 53-man roster has been dropped, but is this the final roster? We finna find out. Let's go!
Let them hate.
Let them wait.
The beard.
And I could vibe out to that, man. I could vibe out to that. What's going on, everybody in the chat? My homies, my boys, my bros, Silver Blue Nation, Law Nation, Big Game James, Skywalker Still. The Late Night Hype is back, and we have a roster, dog. Or do we? Or do we? Yeah.
Oh, jam.
Yeah.
Hey.
we is just jamming off air low key, though.
We sure was. We can't.
Good afternoon, everybody. What's up, Law?
Good day. Good day. I was going to tell everybody this roster is a living, breathing organism, basically.
Tell them what you were saying. We don't know if it's done.
It's not over. It's not over with now. But they did just cut somebody who wore number 29. Huh?
CJ Goodwin, he wore 29.
We got to run that one. Say it again. They did who? They did what?
They just cut somebody that wore a number 29, right? For your mind.
Yeah.
So we should pay more attention to that than the actual visit. I think I'm with you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna look at that. Because especially since Goodwin was their special teams gunner.
He was special.
He was
Remember?
special.
He was
super special.
And yeah, he was super special. So special that he played special teams. But no, seriously though, CJ Goodwin didn't make this roster, which was a shocker to me. I thought because of special teams he'd be here. But we'll get into that here in a quick second. What's up, though, chat, man? Y'all already deep in this thing, about 400 deep, ready to talk some roster cuts. I already see that a lot of y'all are not happy with a certain player at a certain position. But me and James tried to tell you a couple weeks ago.
Right. We said, hey, Scott, we said it months ago.
Whenever it was. And I might have told you so, guy.
Right.
But I'm not going to lie. I am shocked that Francis Bernard was let go. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty shocked about that because of all the reports were that
the hype.
He was balling. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. But we'll get into it because I think there's a lot of intricacies with this roster, this final roster, that I don't think is quite final. I don't think it's quite final, man. But y'all ready, man?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. That kind of threw me off because, like I said, we was all talking. Me and you, Scott, we said, but the way they was giving the hype and we couldn't see anything, interception return for touchdowns, stopping people at goal lines all over the place, diagnosing playbooks, okay, let's do this.
But it sounded like it's weird. That's weird. And then we'll get into the linebacker situation, which makes it even more weird. We'll get into that, man. But before we do, though, y'all, let's kind of give a shout out to the chat real quick. Y'all got some chatters in your inboxes, or not your inboxes,
man.
Chat boxes. You want to
shout out to
real
Colton.
quick?
Shout out to Blake A. Shout out to Eddie Cruz. Broken Nerd, man. Shout out to you, man. Y'all
Broken
got
Nerd.
Broken Nerd. I guess he used to be a nerd. He broke it all the way down. David G and things, and Rue Glock, man, holding it down. 1,000 pounds, man. I really appreciate you.
Shout out to you,
life of doing. That's somebody else. His name is literally A Life of Doing.
Is that what it means?
I don't know. Sally Lawyer. Oh, shout out to you, Sally Lawyer. I appreciate you for what you did late last night. I mean, dropping donations
Wait a minute.
To the super.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, appreciate what you did on the late.
Wait a minute.
So what kind of late night hype that?
What this was late night hype, dark action behind the scenes, uncut BET.
You feel me? This was Black Planet.
He must have dropped.
Night hype.
Did you talk to her like this? All right, you know what? Before we get going, you know what? Let me just bring it back. Bring it back.
Bring that beat back.
Shout out to Trey, man. Just some chatters in my chat box here. Trey, Swaggy D, the Lunatic. Eduardo, man. Appreciate the kind words from the show earlier. James, little touchdown. Eric, Stevie Mac, the mod god. What up, Stevie Mac? DJ Dog. What up, DJ Dog? Banger, Freddie, Laurel, Brian, as always, up in the building. James, as always. Rich V, Blue. And then many, many more. Daniel Woods, JoJo, K. Francis, and I'm sure Sosa will be up in here, too, from the Cowboys Network, man. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. I left this person out, man. Oh, come on, y'all sing it with me, man.
Oh, Sheila.
Shout out to you, Sheila. Neil, really appreciate you for holding
Zach?
it down.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Let's, again, last time we did this, when we did the projection, we started with quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. We thought those would be the easiest ones. And we kind of got them right, but I'm not going to lie to you. There's two names on here that shocked me, and we're going to run right into them. Let's just run straight into who it is, man. So quarterbacks, you got Dak Prescott, Andy Dalton, Ben DiNucci. Any surprises there? No. Nah. We figured Ben would make it, and then we took him off last minute. But, again, this is we knew they liked Ben DiNucci. The Nooch, I don't think it's a shocker. Where the shockers start to come into play is running back. Zeke, Tony Pollard, and Rico Dowdle. Who? Rico. Is it Dowdle? Am I saying it right? Dowdle? We're just going to call him Rico.
Rico Suave.
He beat out Anderson, Law, and James, and he beat out Saywoo, who we all thought had that versatility. Saywoo. I don't know how to say his last name, so he's Saywoo, fam.
Y'all tell me who Rico is, man. I have not done
Dog, listen, I'm not even going to sit here and act like,
He was number 42, wasn't he?
Shoot, I don't even know his number. I saw Darius, but I didn't see Rico.
Rico, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, and this may be my fault, and I will not fall to this again, but because of no preseason and anything like that, all we have is reports.
Right.
And let's be real. Have y'all heard any real reports of Rico?
Hell no, except Rico gathers.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm not the only one. It was hard for me to really do homework on the cat because I haven't heard anything that would think that he would make the team. We heard Saywoo, and we've seen a lot of Darius Anderson. So If Rico's the fullback, was he the fullback or the running back at TCU?
I don't even know.
Was he even at TCU?
I think he was like a multi-back, but I think they were talking about how they were looking at that one guy that they kicked off on waivers.
He was South Carolina, dog. I'm sorry, y'all. South Carolina.
So I think it's just a situation where they were looking for a special teams guy, a guy who was all out, a third running back who could play those positions, and maybe that's why they kept him.
What is his measurables? I don't even know.
215.
215.
4-year athlete at South Carolina.
He got some good YouTube highlights.
I don't know. I hadn't seen the highlights, but last year he had 108 carries for 498 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he caught 22 passes for 167 yards. And he started 10 of the 12 games. So he's an experienced back. Honestly, I don't think he's going to see the entire season. This may be one of those guys that will get cut.
Never.
Man, this may be one of those. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think that this could be a guy that eventually gets cut for someone, be it Randy Gregory, right? We didn't even talk about that, which we'll get to. Randy Gregory or another player, another 29, or another running back. So, yeah, man, that's Rico. He made it. Any lasting words on Rico?
Ricola.
Net said somebody's mic needs turned up. Whose mic needs turned up?
My mic. She said
okay.
My mic.
Sometimes I be thinking I'm too
1,
loud.
2, and 3.
All right, tight ends, y'all. This is the one that kind of shocked me. We knew Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, Blake Bell. I thought we'd end at 3. But Sean McKeon, tight end out of Michigan, has made the initial 53.
Who?
Sean McKeon.
Was that one of your dark horses?
He wasn't that bad at Michigan. He wasn't that bad.
Okay. I remember somebody. I think that one of you guys were talking about him.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad at Michigan at all.
What was his number?
80 something, I believe. I don't know his number. I think my guy Dallas Peppers Sr. mentioned him. Remember, I think in the last feed he mentioned him, and I think Peppers is a Michigan fan. I'm not for sure, but I think he is a Michigan fan, so I think that's why he knew about him. But remember when we were talking about on the Hype, Sky and Law, how we thought that Dalton Schultz might be that H-back? I think that's why you see the Sean McKeon on the team, because they're going to use a lot of Dalton Schultz as that H-back and probably use McKeon as that third kind of just tight end, in my opinion.
He didn't wear number 84, didn't he?
Didn't Dalton Schultz mention, he talked about that H-back role?
Mm-hmm. And they saw him in practice playing that H-back role. So I think that's why you see 4 tight ends and you don't see the fullback.
Oh, okay. I gotta do some homework on him then.
Yeah, because this is this is how you know things are changing. McCarthy usually rolls with a fullback. He usually rolls with one, and he's not at all. He's actually going deep at 2 positions we didn't think he'd go deep at. Not because we didn't think we had it, but tight end and wide receiver. So what's your feels on Sean McKeon? Chat, what's your feels on Sean McKeon? Isaac said Sean McKeon, only morning player on this team that's manhandled Chase Young. Maybe Michigan player. Only Michigan player that manhandled
He
Chase
ain't
Young.
never manhandled no damn Chase Young. Stop it.
What's McKeon's measurables? Do you got that, Sky or James?
I think he's like 6'5", like 250. That's where they all are.
Okay, wow. Well,
It's like I'm just going broad.
Oh, you're kind of right. He had a trash quarterback at Michigan, they're saying in the chat. Sal says, yeah, but he's never had a running back like Zeke before. And again, we talked about that too, Sal, on last show. Did we need a third running back or a fullback or what have you, because Ezekiel Elliott is extremely durable? Knock on wood, y'all. Knock on wood.
Oh, well, my wood.
Hey, slam on that wood, dog.
Smash!
Well, here we come to find out they're rolling with 3 for now. I still, tell me if I'm wrong, chat. I just can't see the guy Rico sticking around. Honestly, I can see Sean McKeon sticking around.
Yeah.
Here's why. Blake Bell, 1-year deal. Dalton Schultz, I think, has maybe 2 years left. And if he doesn't really show out, they need somebody in the hole to develop. And maybe Sean McKeon is that developmental tight end to play behind Blake Jarwin, because we're going to need a tight end too, regardless, for at least the next 4 years with Blake Jarwin on the team.
Yeah.
But did we need 4 tight ends? I didn't see that happening.
Special teams, they're probably
special teams.
He might be the CJ Goodwin. He may be the CJ Goodwin that they got rid of for Earl Thomas, because they got rid of them. Did I say that again? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mention that. I'm just saying.
Hey, you may not be wrong. So, chat, let us know how you feeling about this. So far, Dak Prescott, Andy Dalton, Ben DiNucci, no surprises. Zeke, Tony Pollard, Rico, which is a surprise. Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, Blake Bell, Sean McKeon. Can't lie, I'm surprised on that one. How's everybody feeling in here? Godtier Jimbo said, actually, McKeon did give Chase Young trouble.
Okay.
McKeon beat the brakes off of Chase Young. Go look at the film. Oh, shoot, y'all keep saying this.
All right, I'm going to go look at the film because I'm in Big Ten country, and I need to see McKeon beating the brakes off of Chase Young. I need to see that.
Chase.
Watch that.
What's this one here? Where'd you go? Oh, no, not that one. Somebody has something. Rico allows McCarthy to run his full house package. Nah, I don't think.
Nah, Rico's not playing in this game, dog. He on special teams.
If he even sees the 46.
Right.
Yeah.
Game day roster. Rico.
That's a whole nother episode.
That
46 roster, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell to the no. He ain't going to be on no damn 46.
Is it Mescon? Tony said Schultz is a keeper. We're hearing some good things about Schultz.
Okay.
Keeper, though, we'll see. I think this is the year to prove it because isn't he? This is his third year, right?
Yes, sir.
So he's got 2 years. He's got this year and he got next year. Rashawn said y'all need to look at film on McKeon. Good blocking. Great. If that's the case,
nobody's hating.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't said anything negative about him. I just don't.
Right.
I haven't heard anything about him. And
Right.
I thought because of Blake Dalton and Bell, he wouldn't make the team because we'd go 3. We went 4, and they elected him over Hicatini, likely because they see enough in Dalton Schultz in the receiving aspect if something happens to Blake, and they wanted to assure themselves on the blocking aspect if something happens to the other Blake.
He must be a good blocker if they kept him for like that.
Yeah. And I did see one little highlight. He ran a vertical seam route, and Thorson was able to connect to him. If he's the guy that wore number 84, that's what everybody was saying. So maybe, just maybe, he got a little speed up under him too. So we'll find out.
Yes, sir. And before we move on to the next position, the wide receivers, y'all, make sure if y'all enjoying the stream, man, y'all enjoy this channel, these channels, the show, smash the like button. Right now, 1, 2, 3, smash that like button. In fact, we're going to jam out real quick as you do it. Smash the like button, everybody. What up, Sosa? Sosa came up in here. He said 48 players, game day roster. So he's saying maybe Rico come up. All right, let's move on, man. Wide receiver. Another surprise.
That good stuff.
None at the top. Coop, Gallup, CD, Lamb, Cedric. Not a surprise. Noah Brown, really not a surprise. But we elected to go 5 because we thought Ventel's injury would push him off. They want 6. They want 6 wide receivers, 3 running backs, 4 tight ends. They're stretching it right there. They're stretching it. How we feeling about this wide receiver group right now?
Oh, I mean, we felt great with that 5, especially with Noah Brown stepping up. That made us feel a lot more comfortable. Cedric Wilson, I mean, he looks fierce. I mean, Cedric Wilson looks fierce this year. That gives you confidence. And then now Noah Brown is not pigeonholed as a blocker or just look coming in on certain routes. Now he looks like he's a receiver. So it gives me a lot more confidence. And plus, you got CD Lamb, dog. That's right there. You can mix and match with all that. So I hope Ventel gets better because he impressed me. You brought me to him, Sky. I liked him when they came over from Cincinnati, but I didn't know if he was all that. But you pushed me to him. I started really watching him, and he had good hands, good size, good blocker, plays multiple positions, can play special teams. So I can see why they kept him.
Yeah. And the bottom 3, when you look at this, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, and Ventel, I like their skill sets. And what you want to do is replicate those bottom 3 in the pinch. If something happened to the top 3, that you can insert those guys. And Cedric, he can run every route in the tree, and he's better at the top of his route now. He can tell you that. Go back and watch the live that we did with him, and he's been working out with Coach Bird. Let me tell you guys, Coach Bird, we're going to have to bring him on. He said that he'd be willing to come on to talk to us about these wide receivers. Coach Bird, he also worked out Jerry Rice. He also has a resume with Amari Cooper and a bunch of these wide receivers that's in the DFW. So I'm thinking that this year, Cedric Wilson, he's so versatile in the sense, this may be a year that we look at it and say, man, this wide receiver core. Hey, Scott, are all of these wide receivers above 6 foot?
every single last one of them are 6'2" or
6'2"
taller.
6'2".
Cooper might you might be able to get away with saying Cooper's 6'1", but then Michael Gallup's is 6'2", CeeDee Lamb 6'2", Cedric Wilson 6'2", Noah 6'2", Ventel 6'3". So we have some big wide receivers, and we have physical wide receivers. Noah's a dog. I mean, when I say dog, y'all, I don't mean like, oh, you all of a sudden on Noah. No. Go watch Noah in college. You got to be a dog if you're going to be a lead blocker. You know what I'm saying? Go watch CeeDee Lamb just lay out people in blocking. In fact, it's one of the things that they talked about with CeeDee Lamb was that he is a blocker. He's not afraid to block. Ventel Bryant, you were talking about Ventel. James, you was like, yo, I had to go watch him. I was about to say, go watch his special teams plays. I encourage you guys out there with the All-22, go watch Ventel on special teams, dog. He is physical, and he puts his nose in there. I think that's why he made this team. I think, what's his name? John, I call him Bones Jones all the time. Bones Fossil did not want to let this guy go because he's a 6'3" weapon. 6'3", 215-pound or so weapon. And I think that's why they kept Ventel. But again, when he went in, he had to go in last year. He handled himself well. He was physical at the point of attack. He was physical blocking, and he handled himself well, man.
Yeah, this guy's going into the Matrix.
I went into the Matrix?
Yeah, you went into the Matrix.
Oh, they can't see me going into no Matrix.
yeah.
But y'all can hear me.
That's why it was the Matrix.
Yeah, Ventel, man. Last one on there. How y'all feel about the actual group? But do you think this is a really good, a deep enough wide receiving group? And the reason why I have to emphasize that, I did a show with Foots earlier. I dropped earlier today. Go check that out. And I said, man, I feel like this group of receivers are actually versatile receivers. It's a receiving group. Whereas we had Tavon Austin, right? Trick plays, one trick pony type guy. We had Cole Beasley, one trick pony. Yeah, he's not going to do a bunch.
In and out route.
Lucky Whitehead, same thing. Fitting a certain style, can only play one area in a trickster. But this year you got Coop Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, Ventel. It sounds like Noah's showing his wide receiving skills. Man.
Yeah. Hey, let's not forget. Remember, I think it was his freshman year. He had like 4 touchdown game against Oklahoma, and that's what really put him on the map when he was turning up on that game. So, I like the receiving core. I feel very confident. I feel very satisfied with it. I love the top 3, but I guess what I really like is how Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown really stepped it up and really gave me confidence in their receiving abilities, so they can really feel like if any of the other guys go down, these guys can jump right in and play multiple positions, just as you mentioned, Sky. But I think the theme with the whole Cowboys is you're not playing just one thing here. With this new staff, you're going to know multiple positions. You're not going to be pigeonholed in one spot. We're going to use you to where it feeds and helps us in any way. And that's what I like, instead of saying, okay, you're blocking and that's just what you're doing. Now they're saying, no, you just ain't blocking. You're going to play everything.
Yeah, and red zone opportunities too, man. That's what we needed to improve on, the efficiency level of red zone. So now you got guys that can high point the ball, bring it down. Gallup is one of those dogs, right? Boy, I got to say a dog bark after that. And then Lamb. You may think a lamb is a docile animal, but he's a lion out there. He's got teeth. Yeah. That's what he's going to do to the mother weak dogs. And then you got, of course, Noah Brown, who can high point the ball. And Cedric, he's so quick and in and out of his breaks now. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be nasty.
Somebody said in the chat, our top 3 wide receivers are elite. The bottom 3 are just decent, no true depth. Let me
what?
Hold on, wait. Let me just talk about what he said. You said the top 3 are elite and the bottom 3 are decent. That is the definition of depth. I think here in Dallas with the Cowboys fans, for whatever reason, we have this mind frame where every single spot on the team has to be great. That's not how that is. That's not how that works. If you like you said, if our roster was full of top heavy starting elite players and then decent players after that, we'd likely be in the playoffs every single year.
Exactly. That's what you want.
That's what you want. Great. It's impossible to keep a team full of elite and very good players throughout the entire roster. Impossible in 2020. So I would argue with you, I think it was Ben, that is the true definition of depth. It's having decent players behind your top 3 guys. You may not like them, but if you consider them decent, I think that's depth.
And I don't think that if they came in the game, you'd be sitting there thinking like, I think if Cedric Wilson comes in the game now, last year, I think the way he's playing confident. You're not going to be like, oh, damn, Cedric Wilson's in the game now. What are we going to do? I don't feel that way. And same with Noah Brown. When Noah Brown had some opportunities, he caught the ball. He was able to catch the ball when he had opportunities. Just they never threw him the damn ball. So, and I told you, remember when we talked about, I got him confused a couple of times with them dreads and him making these catches that look like CD Lamb. So let's go.
Let's roll with it.
And okay. So a concern I was going to mention about the roster that I'm seeing people bring up, and it's a valid concern. And let's talk about the goods and the bads of this whole entire roster. There is no deep speed at wide receiver. There's no guy that's going to take the top off of the defense. I'm wondering if maybe that's something they look into, but man, this 6 looks solid. Unless there's an injury, I really can't see them moving on from him. And I can't really see them adding a 7th just for speed.
And here's the situation with that, speed
it's true.
versus quickness. Cole Beasley, he wasn't like a burner, but he was quick, right? So now you got that out of a CeeDee Lamb. He's not a burner, but he's so quick in and out of his transitions that you can try to say, okay, we're going to roll coverage Amari Cooper's way, and we're going to try to. This is what they're going to do. I can tell you right now, week 1, week 2, they're going to try to bracket cover CD, and I'm about to cuss. That ain't gonna happen because they almost got me, man. But that's not gonna happen because the moment they bracket cover CD and they roll coverage Amari Cooper's way, you got one-on-one to the outside with Gallup, and you got somebody who can vertically stretch the field with seam routes with Blake Jarwin. I want them to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because great points, Lord. Will this team even need a deep threat? Like when I say deep threat, I mean, will it need deep speed? No. Because we know Amari Cooper can get downfield. He may not be Tyreek Hill. We know that Michael Gallup can catch deep balls very well. He can go up and grab it. He's Dez-like down there. We know that Blake Jarwin's going to attack the middle of the seams, and we know that CeeDee Lamb can beat you anywhere. So does it really need a deep threat, like a deep speed wide receiver? Don't know. I'm not sure, but it would be nice to have it. Not gonna lie.
Hey, but you know what? Butler ran a 4.3, but go ahead.
Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna look at it like this. The word of the day is yak. Yak is the word of the day because we like to get them long ones, but hit them with them little slants or a quick dig and let that man do it afterwards. But keep it real, even though Michael Gallup doesn't have deep speed, he always seems to get deep though.
He does get deep. All right, let's move on to the guys that are responsible for blocking so that these guys can get open. The offensive line. I'll read down the names here. No surprises at the top. Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Zach Martin, Joe Looney, Connor Williams, and then behind them, Tyler Biadasz, Connor McGovern, Cam Irving, Brandon Knight, and Terrence Steele. I think that's where kind of the surprise comes in. Y'all let me know in the chat. Is Terrence Steele a bit of a surprise to you? Did you think maybe Adam Redmond? I know a lot of people like the Mexico tackle, which I didn't think a chance in hell he would make the 53. But Terrence Steele, I heard was getting, not looking too great, but at the beginning. But apparently, there must be some potential there, man. Maybe it's that Brandon Knight potential. Remember, everybody was like, Brandon Knight. And what's his name?
Woo, I stayed with him. Woo.
You did.
What's the dude's name?
Stuff on Brandon Knight.
Brian Broaddus. Brian Broaddus said, hey, man, Colombo was telling me he's sticking with Brandon Knight. He's making his team. This was before the 53 had came out. And then, boom, he made the team, and I think he played pretty well.
He did. That Jets game and that Vikings game when Leal went out, he played very good. And remember, I told you still, I was like, and remember when Jesse was like, I was like, Brandon, I ain't bad. Remember when Jesse Allen's like, stop it. You slap yourself. I said, okay, I got you, dog, but you're going to make this team. And guess what? I'm going to get in your inbox, Jesse, and tell you, Brandon Knight's there.
Oh, he said Jesse told you?
Remember when he's like, slap. I said, Brandon Knight is decent. He's going to make team. He said, slap yourself. I said, okay, I got you.
I'm surprised. I don't even remember. I'm surprised he did that, seeing that Brandon played last year and he wasn't a travesty.
And he went undrafted last year, and that's a good thing because he's cheap.
Yeah.
What do you think about Terrence making this team, Law?
Well, a lot of people look at his college tape in the Senior Bowl, and they would paint him into a corner. But coaches do elevate. Coaches do figure out ways to use your body and these sorts of things. I think he got good size, so it's a surprise to me that he made the team or what have you, based off of those snippets of tape. But
But can he
my,
be
uh,
one of those cut candidates?
as far as a roster, if we need somebody else again, yeah. I don't think that there'll be 31 other teams beating down the door for Terrence.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, that's for sure.
Cause think about this: if you now, maybe this is the scenario, right? If you pull somebody from a practice squad, you got to put them on your active roster. Is that correct?
If you say this again now.
And let's say, for example, we cut them and we want to put them on the practice squad, and then somebody say, okay, yeah, we really like Terrence, and they go out there and grab Terrence off all practice squad. They got to make him available on their active team, right?
I believe so. And again, these things are very fluent in the COVID era. So one of our mod guys or people out there, if you want to clarify that, you can. But normally, yes, if you steal somebody from their practice squad, they have to be on your active roster, I think, for like 3 weeks minimum. I believe so. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it is.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna give Boss Cowboy a shout out because when the draft happened, he was one of the main people that kept on talking about Terrence Steele. He kept on saying, "I like Terrence Steele." I kept on I was like, "Hey, he didn't have bad tape in college," but I guess the thing that made me be like, "Whoa," was when we watched that Senior Bowl when he was just getting eaten alive. I think Bradley and I would cooked him a couple times too, but his footwork was not looking good. He was looking slow. Kickback when he was doing his kickback, he was just looking slow, but he does have the size. He's 6'7". He's 320 pounds. He has those measurables, and he's athletic enough. So maybe they see that and think about it. I don't know if it was for sure, but when La'el Collins was out, I believe Terrence Steele was one of the first ones up.
Well, we'll find out, as Mickey would say. And this is the only thing I would say about that front five, the offensive line for your mind. We won't know until after week one. After week one, on how they kind of did against Aaron Donald and company. So my biggest reservation, and this is just me talking from just a roster aspect, that these guys haven't worked together with each other for a long time right now. Tyron Smith, he was on and off.
Here's what we got though, Law.
Talk to me,
Tyron Smith, La'el Collins, Zach Martin, Joe Looney, Connor Williams have all played with each other. This isn't new.
True.
They've played with each other, some of them since they came in the league in 2014. And then in regards to Joe Looney and Connor Williams, they had 2018 and 2019 together. So the core of the offensive line shouldn't have too many hiccups, or should be able to address those issues fairly quickly if there's any communication problems early on, as opposed to, say, if we did have Connor McGovern and Tyler Biadasz in the starting lineup, I would be a lot concerned, a lot, because the communication, that camaraderie, that chemistry is not quite there for those guys. They're new, which is why we said Joe Looney and Connor Williams were likely going to start. So if these guys are struggling after a few weeks, it's a concern more to individually. Is La'el Collins, is he okay? Because he's been out of shape.
Right.
Tyron Smith hasn't practiced much. Is he okay? I don't think they're going to have an issue with Zach, but Joe Looney is good enough.
Well, hey, I'm going to jump on that
Williams,
one because I'm going to listen to – I just guess I'll go listen to Dak. They ain't going to say nothing negative in the damn media, but Dak said, he brought up Joe Looney on his own. I was watching an interview where he brought up Joe Looney on his own. He said Joe Looney is better than he was at 2018. He's a lot better. We have a lot of confidence in him. So that made me feel good that he brought him up out of nowhere and said, hey, he is better than he was in 2018. So, hey, that's a good thing because we saw how he got manhandled a little bit. So we're going to see week one with that Aaron Donald thing, big dog. We're going to see how good you got.
It is more so like those guys work together, right? Especially protecting the A gap. You got the double A gaps, and I believe to the right of him, he's okay with that. Zach Martin gonna hold that down. Yeah. But to the left of him, I want to know like that A and that B gap situation. My biggest guy that I really rooting for this year, and he got to show me something. He got to show me something, big game.
Connor McGovern.
No. To the left of him. To the left of Connor Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry, Connor Williams.
Yeah,
he got to anchor that down, because if he's the weak, look, I've seen so much film on Tyron Smith. He's Mr. Nice Guy. He tried to get off of his guy to help out the young kid, and that edge is wide open. So I just hope that, and he been having a quiet camp, right?
Who's that?
Connor Williams.
I
know last year we were saying that he's bigger, he's stronger.
I think quiet might be good though for Connor.
Might be
Williams.
good
because Connor McGovern didn't take the spot, and that's where I was pushing. I wanted to see Connor McGovern, and he wasn't able to unseat him. So maybe that's a good thing that you're hearing from Connor Williams. But I agree with you, Law, that this is your third year, dog. You're the offensive lineman, left guard. You need to be steady, and can't nobody be always helping your ass no more.
No more. You got to eat his own food. I got a little baby. I got to burp her after she eat. Look, I don't want Tyron Smith to go over there and say, "Hey, let me burp you right quick, baby." No, you got to hold that fort down. You got to be that staple piece for this line right now on that side, because Tyron Smith, he got his hands full on that edge there.
There's times Connor Williams makes Tyron Smith look bad.
Right.
And it happened in 2018 a lot. 2019, I'm not quite sure how often it happened, but he's always having to worry about him. And he didn't have to do that earlier in his career when he had Ron Leary. Very dependable left guard. And you got to understand as a Cowboy fan that no matter how much you like Connor Williams and you want to give him chances and stuff like that, and that's cool. We want to see him succeed. They're clearly not comfortable with Connor Williams moving forward. They drafted Connor McGovern, dog, in the third round, who was graded higher than their second round pick. So, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So I think this is a year for Connor Williams to show it, to prove it. If not, they're going to put that Big Ten boy in there and see what he got. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be great.
Year, you know what I'm saying? Connor went in the second round, right? Correct.
Connor went in the second round, a pick that we could have got ET for, but.
Exactly. So here's the thing: since you win the second round and they don't do that first round thing, you're a second rounder. So next year, if you don't go it this year, come on, Connor McGovern, let's slide you on in, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason why we keep talking about Connor Williams anyway, because he was a second round draft pick.
Damn, he's speaking the truth on that one. That's the only reason, because if he was third or fourth, we probably like.
Good question here.
Time,
DJ Cobb said, "Do you guys think sack numbers will increase again without Frederick? His return cut the sacks down in half." I think James alluded to a little bit of that, where he said Dak Prescott talked about Joe Looney being better than he was in 2018. And let's give a little bit of credit in a bad way to Dak Prescott in 2018 without Frederick. He was not processing things quickly enough, and he took a lot of sacks. I think per the advanced stats, he was like top 3 in sacks given up by a quarterback. Meaning they didn't credit the offensive line, they credited Dak. And when we watched 2018, that was one of the things we always said: get rid of the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. And he wouldn't throw it, and he wasn't recognizing. This was still him growing, right? This is still Dak growing. But last year, I think you saw a different process in Dak Prescott. You saw a more confident guy. You saw John Kitna telling him, let that thing go. Let it go. And he would let it go, or he would take off when he did take off, which wasn't much. So I think we may see an increase in sacks. Maybe because we're waiting for plays to develop, but I don't think we'll see an increase in sacks because Joe Looney is so terrible. I think we'll see an increase in sacks maybe by a few, but I think Dak will help, level off those sacks if that we had in 2018 that were his fault.
Yeah, and the scheme of the West Coast offense, hey, 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. Drop back, get the ball out. It's quick releases, and I think that Dak, he worked on his lower body extremities, so he's more fluid now on his lower body.
He's looking agile.
Yeah.
Like they all got a little trim, but you know what? Mike McCarthy's type of offense is that West Coast type principles. So if it's the West Coast type principles, y'all know what that type of offense is. It's quick processing. The thing that we talked about with that guy, you got to get the ball out quicker.
Yeah,
this is the thing that Mike McCarthy really runs. So you might see that's the thing when Jesse Holly came on our show. He said one of the reasons why I'm really excited about Mike McCarthy, he's going to have Dak thinking quicker, processing things quicker, getting the ball out of his hand quicker. So you get the ball out the quicker out your hand, make passes, less sacks too.
Yeah, we won't see La'el Collins sacking Dak Prescott in the playoff game, right?
Listen, man, that was so weird.
Weird play. Yeah.
And I'm surprised that fans don't troll us more with that damn picture. Keep it a bean. I'm gonna keep it a bean. All right, y'all. Before we move on, yeah, go ahead.
Did you see that news?
Nope.
According to multiple sources, the Cowboys replaced right tackle La'el Collins and linebacker Sean Lee on injured reserve Sunday.
Wow.
Since they were on the active roster Saturday, they will have to miss only the first 3 games.
Oh, we just hitting on it. James coming through with the clutch. Breaking news.
Wow.
Is it still?
Wow.
There's only 2 steals I know. That's one.
My cousin. That's why my cousin Terrence made the team.
I know still reserved 211, baby. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do for the first live show. I'm gonna go buy me some still reserve, baby.
Ooh, I said I wasn't drinking no more. That might make me drink.
How fitting. How fitting is this? We're doing the 53-man roster show in the middle of the show. This is why you got to tune into Late Night Hype.
Yeah,
we're right on the offensive line. We're talking about La'el. We're talking about, if he starts off slow because he ain't played. And breaking news, La'el Collins to miss 3 games, going on IR. We knew that Sean Lee would hit IR, and we'll talk about that here once we get to the linebackers. Right. I don't think anybody was thinking about it. It makes sense because La'el has not been practicing. He's been trying to work himself back.
Oh, my God.
But when you hear it, it's like, okay, here we go, Brandon Knight, or here we go, Cam Irving?
Oh, my God. Don't.
Cam. He's been battling through his injuries, and every time, what Cam Irving don't he wear number 75?
I don't know what the hell he wears.
No, he wear number 75. Is he wearing the same number that the other guy
75
wore in Atlanta?
Oh, please don't.
Oh my God,
Chaz.
You're talking Chaz. Chaz. I thought you was about to go to the cat from Mark Barron. I thought you were going to say not Mark Barron.
I know who you're talking about.
You know I'm talking about the cat from St. Louis or from Rams.
The other roly poly. I call him roly polies.
Shout out to the donations too. I keep on. I think Tony earlier did a donation. Then Stewart said, "Why we always have so many fans that can't be happy with Pro Bowl caliber talent all over the team and excited potential of the rest of our coaching staff has kept versus criticizing their decisions." Yeah, man, it's always going to be unhappy fans. Wow, breaking news. Let's take a quick little break. When I say quick break, it ain't really a break, but so plug in our guy Sosa, man. Make sure y'all definitely rock out with Cowboys Network on all platforms. I'm pretty sure he's covering these exact moves right now on all his platforms, man. So make sure y'all follow him on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook, all over, brother. Please do that. He is very good with this information. And when we're gonna jam out right quick. When we come right back, we're gonna get into this breaking news because we have to stay on this offensive line right quick, dog. This is real. Are we concerned?
Hell yeah.
I said that's the only unit that you really have to be worried about week 1, week 2, week 3 is the offensive line.
I see what you're saying because you need that cohesion.
Yeah, continuity and all that other good stuff. See, I'm on the ESPN now to see notable cuts because it'd probably be somebody on the streets right now that we can probably hurry and bring in, I need a quick list, though. They got too much writing on here on ESPN. Let me pull up another notable cuts.
Shout out to you, Tony, for another one.
Cam Irving was brought to Bend to be a swing tackle as a free agent. Brandon Knight, my guy, is a possibility, but he suffered an ankle injury.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. LFG said, risk for 6, spend some of that money, go get Earl. Shout out to you for that donation as well. We're going to get there. LFG, but we were about to move on to the defense, but breaking news, guys. La'el Collins will be sent to IR doing the Sean Lee thing. We thought Sean Lee would make the team, get sent to IR, and then La'el Collins makes the team and gets sent to IR, missing the first 3 weeks of the season. Brandon Knight, according to people in the chat, according to Big Game James, is also hurt. So it sounds like get ready for Cam Irving week 1 going up against who's the tackle out there?
Right in for isn't Paula still on there?
They got some dogs, man.
From the Jacksonville Jaguars, didn't he re-sign with them?
Let me pull up there because all I can see is Aaron Donald.
Dante Fowler.
Fowler. for a plate of food. I guarantee you, when Dante look up that list, when he get his chart on
he gonna
Tuesday,
be licking them chops. So Cam Irvin in there.
All right, so let me bring some clarity, not clarity. Let me bring some reasoning to this as well. Okay, we can be nervous about Brandon Knight or Terrence Steele or Cam Irving, but this is exactly why you move on from a Jason Garrett, because we complained for years that if we lost one of our better players, he did nothing to make up for that. He did nothing to adjust to that. He just said, no, we're going to run out here. We're going to do what we do, no matter who we play or who is playing. Well, coach, this is why I like you, because, I'm hoping because of an injury, you adjust to it. You give Cam Irving more help than he needs, or Terrence Steele or Brandon Knight. You slide protection over. You do it in the first quarter. You don't wait till your opponent has 6 sacks on you and then you come in the fourth quarter and you start sliding protection. It's too late. Your quarterback psyche is done. Your offensive psyche is done. So let's see if Mike McCarthy, let's see if Kellen Moore can adjust to the situation. And here's a good thing. At least they're not caught off guard. This is something, guys, that they've probably been preparing for weeks, and we're just hearing about it. Is that fair, chat? Is that fair, panel, to say, hey, I get it. We're nervous. We're definitely nervous about the tackles, but good teams can overcome these things. You think that the Patriots always had the best tackles and was always there? Do you think that the Steelers have always had their tackles? Hell, we saw the Eagles lose Jason Peters with a rookie win the Super Bowl. Coaching
let me
matters.
ask you this, guy. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on with Lyle? I heard that report.
I thought he was out of shape.
Yeah,
he was just out of shape. That's what McCarthy was.
Like what is going on? He need to do some push-ups, some water aerobics. He need to do some plyometrics. What's going on?
Well, we're going to hear about it here as this comes out. So if you guys see anything that drops, let us know. But I do think it's probably something may not be feeling right, and he's not in shape. I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
What's going on? Let me know, Cowboy Nation.
What the hell is even that?
I don't know, man.
3 weeks?
I don't know. Matt M. Dot said Josh Sitton was cut by the Packers. Isn't Sitton a guard?
Yeah, he's a guard.
Can McGovern get some positional flex? He can't
No.
He's the inside guy all day, huh?
No. You brought in Cam. You brought in Connor. I'm sorry. You brought in Cam, Brandon Knight, and Steele. That's your tackles.
I'm looking at the guys on the Rams. Fowler is over in Atlanta, like they said. Sorry for the correction from Robinson, Charlie Bridges. But looking at their lineup, they really ain't got nobody to really be super scared of. They got Leonard Floyd from Chicago, but he's a little light in the pants.
Wait.
He quick though.
Wait.
He's quick.
Wait a minute now. Leonard Floyd, top 10 pick that got top 10 talent.
Yeah, but he's not with them no more. So
He's not with he's with the Rams.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't he with the Bears?
Bears, correct. He's with the Bears. I think they decided to move on from Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
But he's shown some flashes, and if he has to go up against a Cam Irving,
KMT said bring back Doug Free.
Oh, Lyle. All right, man. Let's move on, y'all.
You tripping, Lyle.
Hey, let me ask y'all this, though.
What happened, Lyle? What's going on over there? What happened?
Let me tell y'all this, though, or let me ask you guys this. Connor is a tackle, though, right?
Don't do that.
Connor is. I'm just saying.
So
I'm just saying. And McGovern is a guard, right?
T-Rex.
Somebody says move. See, Will. We always been talking about that, but it didn't sound like it's gonna happen. The mod guy Stevie Mack said that per Mike Fisher, it's about his conditioning. He's been having that trouble all summer, and that is the reason for him to hit IR. He is not ready to go.
Dang.
Yeah. COVID. You know what though, man? There's certain players that need that structure, and there was no structure because of COVID.
He got fat.
And exactly.
He got fat.
And
but dog, you got paid last year. You know how much money he got paid, Cowboy
One thing
Nation?
we don't hear about is not Connor. Lyle Collins' work ethic's crazy. Like, we don't hear that.
Yeah.
So maybe
Lyle always been a big boy.
Yeah.
But how much he got paid last year?
He got paid.
He got paid.
Did he get paid before Dak Prescott, right? Dak Prescott still not
That's another
paid.
point, man. That's another point.
So you paying all that money for somebody to not work out during the offseason. I know we have a pandemic, but you supposed to have your big butt in shape.
Yeah,
I'm sure they on his ass about it, but what you gonna do? You gonna cut him?
Oh no!
What you gonna do? You gonna cut him?
Bound. My coach just say bound. We can put biometrics on. He'll be running the bleachers. But I know this is.
Give me a lap.
Give me a lap.
17 of them.
Somebody said, "Thank God Dak is right-handed." Yeah, that's the other good thing.
I know,
it's not his blind side, so he can see it coming.
Tony Romo was right-handed too, but shoot, that Doug Free, I said, "Dang, Doug, you gonna try to kill Tony Romo without, never mind."
Don't even mention no Doug Free. Ooh.
Let's jump into this defense now, man.
All righty.
If we can, man. It's still tough to move on from it, but we'll come back to it maybe at the end. Linebackers, y'all. Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Joe Thomas, Sean Lee, Luke
Snakely.
Gifford. You will not let that go.
I'm not.
What did he do to be called Snake? I don't understand this.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Y'all dead wrong.
I don't like. I don't know him, so I can't even say I don't like. It's not that. It's just
Dez like Bryant said it.
It probably because Dez, and I still love Dez a little bit, but I think Dez is over the top too. But I think what it is I'm just over Sean Lee and these injuries. I'm over it, dog. Like, I'm over it. You had 1 year that you played 16 games, you didn't start, and then this year you like La'el Collins, you ain't even practice. Get out of here, Sean Lee.
All right. Okay, listen, the Sean Lee slander, I get it, but he ain't on the team. He's IR. So let's talk about what I think is going to happen, and it already happened. Sean Lee going to IR, and the guy they cut that everybody pissed about, Francis Bernard.
Why didn't they keep Malcolm Smith?
Malcolm Smith is signed somewhere else, but I don't know.
I'm saying, why didn't they keep him though? He played good in the last 3-4 games.
Outside when they put him on number 84.
I wonder if they just didn't see him as a fit with the new regime. Because listen, I tell you one thing, I'm trusting Mike Nolan when it comes to linebackers. The dude coaches them up. But still, all we heard, James, all off season or during training camp, Francis Bernard is looking spectacular. And they cut him. I'm still confused about it, but maybe what they're trying to do here is say, okay, listen, we need to get a certain amount of players on this roster, IR them, then bring him back. Because per the IR rules, once you IR Sean Lee and La'el Collins, you can bring these cut players back onto the team. And I think maybe, okay, more breaking news. Sorry, y'all, more breaking news. Lewis is also on IR.
Okay, that's
Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, because he got the
and Ventel Bryant.
Okay.
Damn. Wow. We put 72 people on IR.
So there's going to be 4 spots opening back up. CJ Goodwin, he's coming back. I'm calling it right now. I think they cut.
He ain't wearing 29 though.
And mind you, there's the other free agent too. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. I really ain't, but there's a lot of news just breaking right now.
Expect Cameron Irvin to be the starting right tackle.
Yep, that's what we thought here.
Yeah, I'm glad I prefaced my statement on Instagram. Final roster as of 3:30.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, oh, hey, he's gone, Long.
Long. He just left. He went over there. Okay, update.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see. There's a couple veterans that were cut that I think will come back. March Lillard may be back. I think we'll see CJ Goodwin and Francis Bernard. I think those are my top 3 candidates to come back. I can't see people picking those guys up. And here's why.
No Francis Bernard.
But here's why, because people were like, oh, I can't. He's not making it through waivers. Well, wait a minute, y'all.
It's COVID.
Wait a minute. His tape wasn't the most impressive tape in college.
Right.
Okay? He went undrafted. Okay? He came to Dallas, and the media told us that he's playing well. They told us that. Mike McCarthy last week decided, hey, we ain't putting no numbers on these dudes. We're not showing no plays. And don't you talk about any of our low-drafted picks or our undrafted free agents. Don't talk about them. Did you hear anything about Francis Bernard from the scrimmage? Okay. So there's no tape out there. There's no preseason. There's no nothing. There's no number. There's no nothing. All they got is media people. Are the Raiders or are the Seahawks going to say, hey, man, Dave Hellman said Francis Bernard was the top player. Let's go sign him because Dave Hellman.
Yeah, good shit, Sky.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to try to find somebody within the organization to get some inside information, and I doubt that's going to happen because Mike McCarthy seems to have a muzzle on this franchise right now. So don't be surprised to see Francis Bernard clear waivers unless it's one team says, you know what, I did like his tape. I want to sign him. But remember, if you sign him, you have to cut somebody that's already on your 53 that's been in your building that you already know, and you have no clue about this guy, but you know this player. So I think Bernard has a chance to make it back.
Yeah, that's my case. We seeing a chessboard of 32 pieces out there, and this is a chess game. And think about this guy in Big Game James. Everything else remained the same. Think about this. Also, there's a COVID protocol that even though they may be good in Dallas land, but if you go out there and reach out and grab somebody, there's still a window of time that you have to wait for them to clear those things. So there's a lot of moving parts, Cowboy Nation.
Yeah, some are saying there is some highlights there's highlights of everybody.
Right.
But again, are you really going to base if they sign Francis Bernard, it's not because they saw 2 clips of Francis Bernard intercepting the ball in the Dallas Cowboys training camp where the camera zoomed up on him. So let's kind of bring some context to the situation. I get that there's highlights, right? But that's not enough. I don't think it's enough for a team to just go ahead and sign him. If they're signing Francis, somebody knows something. Somebody has an inside source. Somebody around the team. Somebody might say, hey, John Matoda might be good friends with the Jacksonville Jaguars media guy or somebody that Jacksonville trusts. Hey, John, listen, man, I know you're not a scout. I know this, I know that. But this Bernard kid, man, we're really talking about him. Is he really a guy? And if they really believe in John Machota, then they might pick him up. But I don't think they're going to look at Twitter and look at 2 highlights and say, yep, that's what we want.
According to Law Nation, you know.
And then, like you said, Scott, that was a great point that you brought up about how McCarthy, he probably already had this plan a long time ago.
For sure.
He wanted to do it. He had this plan already a long time ago. Like, okay, we need to protect these people. We're going with these jerseys so nobody can see nothing. You can't get no tape on them. So if we cut them, you can't find them, and we can get them right back. So kudos to McCarthy, because once again, I feel like if we had a Jason Garrett here, you ain't seen him do that shit.
Oh, no. It would have went on as regular. It would have just been regular.
They'll be all right. We're going to get Chaz Green back in here.
Luke Gifford. Remember, there was some concern about Luke Gifford making the roster. They said because he was hobbled. I heard they weren't concerned about it, but he was hobbled. And I think because he's not going to IR, guys, he's going to suit up for week 1. I don't know if he's going to play. When I say suit up, I mean he'll be part of the organization in week 1. He may be off the 46 if he's hurt that bad. But Luke made the team, excuse me, I thought was warranted. I think the potential in Luke is greater than cutting him.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Luke, but damn it, get healthy. You always hurt. I don't like that.
Even in college, got to get healthy.
I don't like that, dog. Not at all.
But on the high end, he can be a LVE. On the low end, he can be injured like Sean.
If he can stay on the field.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Red. Shout out to you, Big Red. He dropped a $25 holla. Appreciate you, man.
Nice.
He said
$25 holla.
He said, fellas, tell me why LB, I'm not quite sure what LB is, maybe Lord Brunson, and the She-Girls going live right now trying to imitate. Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. I don't know. I don't even know who LB is, unless you mean you're talking about Lord Brunson. Because he says She-Girls. But hey, it is what it is, man. Appreciate that donation, though, man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Hey, we said trends, man. We're going to have the Carolina Panthers, the Baltimore Ravens, all their fan people going to come over here and watch this shit and make it. So it's all good. Go ahead and follow.
Just watch on Thursday. We about to have Chief fans and Texan fans.
Right.
That joint about to be lit. Our watch party for that's going to be dope.
That's going to be super lit.
Watch party.
Who else on this linebacker? Any other surprises? Joe Thomas, nope. LVE, no. Jalen Smith, no. So it's going to be Jalen, LVE, Joe, Luke, and Bernard. What you think?
Knock on wood.
Not
you
Bernard.
Said you knocked on wood. What is it? Please let's knock on some big wood for our linebackers.
How you feeling about it? About the depth here, Law? Because James, we talked about it before. Before all this craziness, I was fine with it. With the craziness, I am not. I'm concerned. I'm right there with James now with the depth. How you feeling?
We must gonna be running a lot of nickel, man, because
or 2-5.
2-5. Yeah, 2-5.
or 2-5.
4-2-5, baby. We don't have a lot of depth, So I guess Jalen and Joe Thomas is going to be in the Leighton Vander Esch, LVE. I guess LVE neck is okay, right?
Oh, clearly. I mean, we can see him moving around fine. He popping dudes out there.
He's bigger. He looks like he's been into the lab. We will find out, man. That's just all I can say. I just got to use Mickey line. We find out. That's all I can say.
I tell you what, even if they bring back Francis Bernard, the fact that you IR Sean Lee, Luke is a little hobbled, not sure, and Joe Thomas is really your only veteran depth guy right now.
That's scary.
I feel like you said a lot of nickel. I feel like in base we're going to be a lot of 3-4. Mm-hmm. I can't see too much 4-3 with this group. I'll put it this way. I can't see them being in a base 4-3 more often than not. I think we'll see odd fronts, and they'll roll with LVE and Jalen playing 90-some% of the snaps, and they'll rock with Alden Smith. I got a feeling guys are not going to keep Alden Smith off the field. Now, if you want to call it a 4-3, because Alden could be that Sam guy that can go down and play over the tackle or what have you, and it makes it look like a 4, like you said, 4-2. What'd you call it? 4-2-4 or 4-2-5 or whatever. Wait, 4-2-4. I'm sorry.
4-2-5.
Yes, 5. 4-2-5. Is that what you said, James? Or were you talking about 5-2?
No, I was doing 4-2-5.
Okay, so 4-2-5. Maybe they'll go with that kind of look, but I don't think they're going to be a base 4-3 team traditionally.
Hey, let me give a quick shout out to Fresh Prince 512. Hey ho for the $20 holla. He says, love the content, guys. I think y'all be the next Arsenio Fan TV. I'm kind of shocked we're entering 2021 and we still might be relying on Lee and Carr on the defense. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm
going to leave Lee alone. Sky said, leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
He ain't playing right now, man. We know how we feel about Lee. Emergency. He's a case emergency dude.
I'm done. Yeah. Just for I'm like Smokey. I'm done for right now.
As soon as we get off air,
as soon as we get off air, I'll be talking shit.
Yeah. So this front four, the defensive linemen, maybe they play so lights out that we won't see these little warts right here.
Well, the D line, Law. What do you think? I mean, this seems about right. Or I shouldn't say the D line, the front line. I don't know what it's going to be because you got some guys like Bradley and Nye and Alden Smith can be considered outside linebackers. But here it is, man. The defensive ends: D. Law, Everson Griffin, Alden Smith, Tyron Crawford, Bradley and Nye, and Dorrance Armstrong. I don't think any surprises there.
No, I don't see any. And this thing right here is something that I'm missing, and it's film. That's what I got to go through. It's just film. I have not seen this team. So week one, it's just something that is just missing from me. And all I can say is I love D-Law. I think that all of these guys can win their one-on-ones. I think that even I heard news, Stephen Jones saying that Tristan Hill is starting over Crawford now.
Starting tackle.
So
Tristan Hill is the starting three tackle.
So what is the front four, Sky, in your opinion?
It would be DeMarcus Lawrence, Everson Griffin as your ends, Dontari Poe and Tristan Hill as your defensive tackles. And then you got a guy like Tyron Crawford who could be your N/DT as your number one reserve and 1A, 1B, whatever. And Alden Smith can be a left defensive end or a stand-up linebacker. I think those are your 6 you're going to roll with primarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
Come on, let's go, Tristan Hill. I'm proud of my dog. I'm proud of my dog, Tristan Hill. Yeah. I've been on him day one, and I just really got frustrated how everybody always wanted to, you remember Taco, and they try to lump him with Taco with that BS crap.
He was a baby, man.
You feel me? And I didn't like that because he was way more talented than Taco. And if you didn't see it, something's wrong with your football eyes. You may not have any. And the fact that people wanted to just trash him after 1 year, no. And the great thing about it is Law and Sky is that remember how Wink sent that I can't forget it. Wink sent that tweet and he said, where the hell is Tristan Hill? And Gallimore jumped right in our tweet, right in our feed and was like, dog, he's working. Just because you don't see it, that don't mean this man ain't working. And that's a testament to what he's done. He's been quiet all season. Remember, we had Broadus on the channel and Broadus was saying, you know what? This COVID may hurt Tristan Hill because he needs these guys around him. He needs to show. Broadus said that. So I think that's a testament to Tristan Hill that you didn't hear anything about him, and he is going to be the starting defensive tackle. That's good shit.
Excellent point. I would argue with Bruno. So Bruno said, what are you missing here? You're talking Tristan Hill starting after talking about being a bust. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Was Jason Garrett missing something, or did Tristan Hill step up? He just laid it out for you. Tristan Hill stepped up. Tristan Hill clearly stepped up. I think it was always about a mental thing with Tristan Hill. Never was a talent thing. We said this, I don't know how many times, James. Mm-hmm. If his maturity ever catches up, if his mental ever catches up with his talent, he'll be a damn good 3-tech. Mm-hmm. He has the tools. He's a strong kid. He's a big kid. He's a quick kid, but he was a kid mentally.
He's still a kid.
He's still a kid. Like, he's younger than some draft picks.
But you know what, Scott? We talked about how Brandon Tucker, the trainer that trained Alden and those other guys, how Brandon was like, hey, I don't know about Tristan. You know, he gave me that first interview, but he said, you know what, once he got a hold of Tristan and they worked, he said, man, I love him. He comes into work. He does his business. And one thing that you notice about Tristan, even when he had his interview, he ain't messing with no damn media. He was sitting there like, they was asking questions. He said,
he's terrible at it.
I'm just saying, he was like, hey, don't talk, Tristan. Just be quiet and do work. And also, I love Ed Too Tall Jones with that 72. That's my idol. But maybe Tristan Hill, like I said, maybe watch some Ed Too Tall Jones tape and said, because he said, I like that jersey. He said, I like that number. Maybe he did on his own. Watch some tape. You never know.
Hey, Lo.
Yeah.
What did we hear about Tristan Hill last year? Because they talked about him. Rob Manelli came out. He's still young. He's still trying to learn. And what are we hearing this year? Tristan Hill is mentally. I'm proud of him. He's stepping up. It's a whole 180 law.
Yeah, it is. And last year, when I did the end of the year, I was trying to give out grades to all of the players. And when I got down to Tristan, I said, hey, there's not enough evidence to either pass or fail this kid. You have to put an eye for incomplete because he didn't get a lot of snaps. We don't know what he can become by the limited amount of snaps that he received last year. So all I can say is this year, by us seeing that he's already on the starting rotation as it relates to this defensive front, I really believe that when you said, Big Game James, when we had Tucker on, Coach Tucker, when he said, hey, I didn't get a chance to get my hands on him last year, but I got my hands on him this year. Mm-hmm. That speaks volumes to me because all he did was elevate people's overall collective game. So I'm thinking that this kid this year, he might can just show us something.
Dog, he's going to be good with us.
I think you guys should go, if you haven't seen it, go watch our show we did with Brandon Tucker, man.
Great show.
Unbelievable show. He gave us such great insight on these players. It was Tristan, Neville, Alden Smith, and Randy. He gave us great insight on those guys. And, hearing from him kind of sold me all the way. I was already happy from what I was hearing from Jim Tom Sula, Stephen Jones, Mike McCarthy, and Tyron Crawford. Those guys endorsed Tristan this year. Nobody was endorsing Tristan last year.
Yeah.
So
Tristan last year, opening day of training camp, we was out there in the Oxnard. And the day before, this brother literally had a bucket full of Krispy Kreme donuts because I knew it because I said I want some of that. And he had a carton of milk. You know what I'm saying? The tall carton, Big Game James, the one that you can open up, the tall carton, he had no cup. And he was eating his donuts and drinking that milk. And I said, this brother finna get a rude awakening. And day one, he fell out like Family Guy. You ever seen Family Guy, Cowboy Nation? He fall out, Peter. Here's how he was laid out because he had cramps all over his body.
Grabbing his knee.
Hey, but you know what? Fellas? When you watch that all 22 tape, though, when Tristan Hill did get in the game in his little bit of spot,
he's got some splash
he
plays.
made plays.
Yeah.
What frustrated me, especially if you look at two games that really stood out to me that he played well. Actually, a third game, it was okay. But that Bears game where we got annihilated, he played good in that game. He was penetrating that. He was Bills and the Rams. He was making plays, and every time he made a couple plays, they took him out. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with y'all, dog?
The stupidity of the coaching staff.
Again, you have Rob Marinelli who loves his orphans and who's not a fan of those kids. He's not, and again, I still don't think Tristan was all the way ready. Yeah. I still think that was the case. I think he still was a head case, and he was a prop. Though he was falling asleep in meetings, like. Right. You can't let that keep sliding, and his immaturity keep sliding. So I understand why he was in the doghouse, and I'm glad that he took that year and said, "Man, I have to change." have to grow up. And he grew up.
You can believe in. Hey, Scott, can you give the education to the nation? Because there's some people in here, and I'm not going to point them out. I'm not going to do them like that. But he said that Antoine Woods over Hill. Can you explain to him the difference between those two positions?
Tell him,
Sky.
Well, Antoine Woods is a one tech. I mean, that's he's a guy that's not going to be your quick get up the field 3-tech type of guy. He's a guy that's going to, and a lot of them really, this front line is what they're saying is they're going to have to hold the point of attack and keep the linebackers clean. Really, that's what Antoine Woods is made for. He's 6 foot nothing, about 315, 320 pounds. He's like a meatball all rolled up. You know what I'm saying? A bowling ball.
Yeah, he's a big bowling ball.
He's a big bowling ball. Can Antoine Woods get upfield? Sure. Is Antoine Woods more talented than Tristan Hill as a 3-tech?
Hell no.
Absolutely not. So that's why you roll with Tristan Hill, because he plays that 3-tech position and he does what you want to do in this scheme. That doesn't mean Antoine Woods can't be a productive reserve. This isn't going to be about starters up front. It's really not.
No, not about starters.
Aside from DeMarcus Lawrence, everybody else is going to get moved around. Maybe Everson Griffin too. Everybody else is going to get subbed in and out a whole lot.
And you know what else, you guys, when we talk about the maturity issues, one of the big things when Gerald McCoy got on the team, I was talking about how he could put his, arm around Tristan Hill and bring him up because he was that leader. Let's really think about it. Last year when Tristan Hill came in, where was the leadership in the locker room? And he was a young guy, a young pup on the defensive line. Who was the leader on the defensive line? Tyron Crawford.
The leader was out.
Exactly. Tyron Crawford was gone. There was no leadership, and you had a position where he was playing Malik Collins' position. Do you think Malik Collins, who was trying to get a contract, is going to teach him? No, he's not. Nobody on that front line was going to fool with him and deal with him and teach him the right way. So that right there shows that there wasn't enough leadership on that D line when Crawford went out to put your arm around this kid and say, hey, let's go. And I think they did that a disservice to him. But looks like they cleaned that up. You got Tom Sula, and also let's not forget Rob Davis, another guy who they brought, who was he's a life guy. He's coming like the life coach. He keeps the locker room stable. So that's another guy that he is inputting, because McCarthy said one of the biggest things that important to him is the locker room.
Yeah.
Brandon says he's worried about nose tackle depth behind Poe because I don't think that he can play the 0. That's why Tennessee cut him as an undrafted free agent. Yeah, but we can't compare Woods as a undrafted free agent 4 years ago to Woods now. We can't do that, right? Context matters. It matters very much. A player in defensive lineman at that, as an undrafted guy how long he's been in the league? 4 years?
I think he came out 2016 or 2017. Okay.
So about 4 years in the league, you can't really compare him then and now and say, well, he couldn't do it back then, so he can't do it now. I'm not saying he's Dontari Poe, but he does have the size and the girth and the width to play 1-tech as a reserve. I really don't want Antoine Woods. You got in trouble, Law, by Woods for saying this. Right. We don't want Woods to play.
I hope he don't see this show. I hope he don't see this show, because he gets sensitive.
Well, let's be real, man.
He gets sensitive on social media, dog. Don't let him see this show.
Woods, hey, like I said, Woods, hey.
We like you, dog. We like you.
15, maybe 25.
Hey, it just is what it is, dog. We ain't hating, but
70% of the snap. He's not physical. He can't physically do it. Neither can Poe.
Mad at this dog.
Poe's not going to play. I think it was Brandon. Woods is going to play. So get ready. But if you're that concerned that he can't even be a reserve, you got to go get his snacks if you want another 350-pounder behind him. But I think Woods, when he's healthy, dog.
Yeah, he's not bad. Like what we got him 2 years ago, right, Sky?
Yeah.
Where he really started playing, right?
2017, we got Woods. He was still battling, or 2018.
2018, right? He had a good year, 2018. You feel me? Then he had this my opinion, maybe the injury, but I think he smelled himself a little bit. In my opinion, he smelled himself after that 2018 team, because he was real flossy, and then 2019 came back a little bit back down to earth. You know what I mean?
Well, he tried to play injured. Remember we talked about that on one of the shows. Like, don't play.
I still think that in his head he think maybe I'm this guy.
Dog.
And maybe you're not that guy.
Dog, you know what that was, right? that was your leader, and D-Law, love you, D, but that was your leader of the Hot Boys. Okay, the Hot Boys made these dudes feel like that. Hot Boys. There was only one dude on that line worthy if you wanted to go there, and that was DeMarcus Lawrence. You really made Antoine Woods feel like he was what's the cat in the Rams? Aaron Donald with that Hot Boy stuff.
He was feeling good, dog. He was feeling good. Mike McCarthy came in there and said, first thing I'm going to do, no Hot Boys.
No Hot Boys. and that's the PG. That's the PG-13 version.
Because he walked in the building, no Hot Boys.
Me and Big Game Jam, we were calling the game live, Sky, and we were sitting there like, man, F this, man. We don't want to worry about the Hot Boys. We just want to see the Cowboys, man. They just be the Cowboys?
I never liked that name in the beginning. It was corny. And Taco Charlie.
It's silly, man. Real quick before we move on from this portion, the front seven of the defense, we went this long. Randy Gregory's back. Randy Gregory has been reinstated. Let's kind of talk about the details of that. He has this weird, it's not a suspension, but it's a suspension. He is conditionally reinstated, can't come back until week 6 or after week 6. He can practice. He can go back to the team on Monday, but he can't practice until October 5th. So that's where we're at with Randy Gregory. I think you add him to this group, you're likely getting rid of Dorrance Armstrong. And my, what you can do.
That damn Ben.
Ooh, with that shoulder blade.
I'm just looking at the defense ends, dog. Look at this. DeMarcus Lawrence, Everson Griffin, Alden Smith, Bradley Nye, and Randy. I'm talking about as pass rushers. Oh my gosh, they all do something. They all have something special about them when it comes to rushing the passer. You add Randy Gregory to that group.
NASCAR.
I mean, is there another term we can use if you put all them dudes out there? Because
we can't do fearsome foursome. Damn.
Let me tell y'all something. Law can play right and left defensive end, you know, and you know for sure that Griffin can kick in the inside. And Alden Smith can play with Law at, even in a pinch. Even if you don't even want to put Randy out there, you can still line up a crazy lineup where it's D-Law, Griffin. You see where I'm going with this?
Third down.
Oh my God, it can just be crazy. And
pin
you
your
just
ears
throw
back.
in some extra sauce with Randy Gregory. Ooh,
The sweet sauce. That damn Ben shoulder blade cutting. He cutting grass.
Ben.
That damn Ben. That damn
blazing.
Oh my God, y'all giving me chills, man. That defense. I know y'all like offense. I know Scott. Voch got on me last night. He said,
I just like football. I'm not a defense offense. That's Voch. I'm not a defense offense guy.
He said all these defensive YouTubers, Cowboys. Hey, you right. I'm a defensive guy. I always did it, played it. I love it. But hey, I want to see us drop a whole bunch of points, but don't it feel good to be third down or something and get a big old sack and then kick it to CD and then he run it back for a touchdown? Hey, ho!
Short area of the
broke my ears.
I'm sorry. I got excited.
I hear. I see.
Hey, that was your inner Jessica moment. Shout out to you, Jessica. We love you.
Oh well, yeah. Leave that alone.
Yes, indeed. 903.
So look, man, the front seven is going to have a big task on their hands because as we stand right now, the secondary is still a question mark. But if they can perform, then they can make these guys' jobs easier. And right now, who's made the team as we speak? Trevin Diggs, Xavier Woods, Cheetah Bear Woozier, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Darryl Worley, Reggie Robinson, Donovan Wilson, Darian Thompson. No C.J. Goodwin, but I think he's a guy that can come back on this roster after all these IRs. We're hearing Jordan Lewis. I didn't really go back and check that. Y'all can go check that for me. It's supposed to be on IR as well. Let me know if that's true.
Jordan contract year 2.
Yeah, man, not good. So I think
before y'all talk a little bit more, look at that beard gang action at the bottom, man. That beard, man. We'll go ahead.
I wonder if Daryl's going to start or not because Trevin's been balling. Trayvon, I said this last time. I can't tell.
Let's throw him to the wolves. Let's just throw him to the
woods.
But
Diggs, I'm ready to just do the same thing, James.
Let's just throw him to the woods.
Just put him out there.
Go.
But here's the thing. We're hearing Cheeto was getting looks at safety. I mean, this is weird, man. Brandon Carr's been brought in. He played a lot of safety. I don't think we're going to have a real grasp on this thing until maybe Monday or Tuesday when the Earl Thomas thing may have run its course and are they bringing in Brandon Carr? I don't think Darian Thompson and Xavier Woods are your starting safeties week 1. I think something happens. Has to be. Has to.
It has to. We really going with Darian Thompson,
dog? Sounds like.
I mean, didn't he couldn't beat out Heath, right? You know, so I don't know, man. Coaches elevate, coaches coach. Who's out there on the streets right now, Cowboy Nation?
Earl Thomas. Let's not
Some
even play
notable-
games. I mean, what are you talking here? What are we talking? We're not mentioning no other name.
You don't want me to tap dance around the
Nope,
conversation?
nope.
You said
Earl
jump right
Thomas.
in it, Lord.
Don't talk about that now. She said Earl Thomas. He said Earl Thomas, dude. Don't mention no other damn
I was
name.
trying to
Let's not play
tap
the game.
dance around
Nah,
it,
we
man.
ain't playing
He
the
said,
damn
man,
game.
just drink out, Earl.
That's all right. We ain't playing that damn game today. Earl
Nope.
Thomas don't talk about no bias. It ain't
I'm
Earl.
not-
Don't talk about safety.
I'm not hearing no Demarius Rand. I'm not hearing none of that. Why are we playing games? The reports came out. The Cowboys are meeting with Earl Thomas, and it ain't fake because what's his name? Kevin Turner brought it up. He is backed by a lot of people over there at 105.
He's plugged.
And they said something to Jerry in the morning because he was caught off guard. And Jerry, I haven't heard of that one. He was shook. Jerry, I don't think I've heard Jerry stumble like that. Well, I've heard him stumble, but he was shook. I think he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was going to get out." So I look at it this way, dog. If they are seriously meeting with Earl Thomas, like they really meet with him, and he's in the same room as Jerry, pen to paper, it's a wrap.
Oh
You
yeah,
feel
it's
me?
over with.
Come on, dog. You think Earl ain't gonna do a great salesman job?
I think Jerry gonna do the salesman.
Oh, is it Jerry?
He don't got to sell Earl. Earl been wanting to come.
You're right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that is Brandon Carr being brought in to talk about Earl, or is he being brought in to really play safety
Please,
/ corner?
Can he come in to talk about Earl? Because I looked at his rating. Your passer rating against you was 95.
What was that safety though? Because I heard he played well in the second half at safety.
I don't give a hell.
It just
I
brings.
mean, you got to
back
give a
old-
hell though. Like you got to
It
bring
brings back
context.
some old stuff. It just bring back
All
old
right.
feelings. It's just old feelings. You know how you have that old feeling on that car.
But James said he had a good career in that, and it wasn't a bad.
He
career
didn't
in
have a
Dallas.
bad career in Dallas.
didn't
It was
have a
just the
bad career,
it was
period.
just the interceptions for
The
real.
last 3 years. He had none. That's so weird. He had no interceptions and then went to Baltimore and got 4
The next
Yeah.
year.
next year. Coaching matters, dog.
Coaches do, but it
I
may
think-
be something that he's allergic in Dallas with.
Yeah, Jason Garrett.
Yeah, there you go. The whole team was allergic. But bro,
scared of the ball.
Brandon Carr's 34 years old.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I don't think we can bring him in and count on Brandon. Stop playing games. If you want to go get a safety, go get a safety.
Yeah.
I get Brandon Carr played some safety last year, but I'm not rolling with Brandon.
just say
Brandon
it
Carr
again,
has a depth.
Sky. Just say it again,
If you
Sky.
want to go get a safety,
Stop
go get a
playing
safety.
games.
Stop playing games.
Let me just shoot this one down right quick because Eric Berry is a friend of a
Oh
family
my
God.
member here.
gosh.
He's from
Are we
his
really
family
gonna
from
keep-
Mississippi.
Don't mention his name.
He's gonna have to have surgery. He opted out not to, and he got a what do you call that when you have something growing? What do you call that when you have something growing on your
Ingrown.
a cyst on
Okay.
his Achilles or what have you, and it's gonna have to be corrected only via surgery, and he opted out not to. So he's not healthy. Cowboys.
Why are we still talking about Eric Berry?
Yeah, don't
Eric
even
Berry.
bring his name
He
up.
played in
Bone
3
spurs?
years.
There we go. Bone spurs. That's
So
what they say.
what?
Oh, Bone
Heart
Spurs, okay.
issues.
Dallas ain't signing no damn Eric Berry ever.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: Stephen Jones came out on the radio and said they are definitely going to be actively looking into the free agent market at safety. He wouldn't mention the name, but so regardless, even if it's not Earl Thomas, guys, we have to bring someone in. Rashad Jones, Eric Reed. Say what you want to say about those guys, but another safety option has to come in here. Demarius Randall, I think somebody brought up, but there is the one guy I think they're doing the most homework on is ET, because I think ET has a chance to marry the back end with the front seven.
I like
Yes,
Rashard. I like Rashard though, but he's long.
Rashad
in the tooth
Jones?
as well. Yeah, he's long in the tooth.
At 32, injury prone, but again, you need somebody. You're not asking him to play a bunch. How we feeling though about the rest of these guys? Here's going to be the corners: Trevin Diggs, Cheeto, Anthony Brown, Darryl Worley, with Reggie Robinson kind of going back and forth. Maybe Brandon Carr was brought in for corner because Jordan Lewis is hitting IR. But do you want him there? Because he said he had 95 rating, and I bet you a lot of that happened to be at corner. I bet you.
Passer
Why they
rating
moved him.
was Getting ate. Brother. That boy was getting eaten alive by the mosquitoes.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's take a look at this final roster and wrap it up here, yo. Here's the final roster for your 2020 Dallas Cowboys right now. Don't think this is going to be the roster come Monday, but we'll read it off one more time. Dak Prescott, Andy Dalton, Ben DiNucci as your quarterbacks. Zeke, Tony Pollard, and Rico as your running backs. Rico being the surprise. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, Ventel Bryant, who apparently is heading to IR. The wide receivers. Blake Jarwin, Blake Bell, Dalton Schultz, Sean McKeon, your tight ends. That's another surprise.
Surprise, mother. Oh.
I need to get that. I need that drop.
Yeah, you do need that one.
I love that show.
Or Wild Wild West, motherfucker.
Did you ever see the YouTube Vine or whatever? Surprise, mother. All rise, mother. Salt and fries, mother. He just came and kept saying all stuff like that. But Tyra Smith, Lyle Collins going to IR. Cam Irving, Brandon Knight, Terrence Steele, Zach Martin, Connor Williams, Connor McGovern, Joe Looney, Tyler Biotish as your offensive lineman. Again, Lyle Collins will be out 3 games.
They're saying that he has a hip issue.
Okay.
That's heavy. You're just too big, and
I
it's
think so.
weighing on your hips.
LP Ladasor, Greg Zerline, Chris Jones are your specialists. Defense, we got DeMarcus Lawrence, Alden Smith, Everson Griffin, Dorrance Armstrong, Bradley Anae, Tyrone Crawford, Antoine Woods, Poe, Hill, Gallimore as your 10. I think that's a strong 10. That might be.
We didn't even say nothing about Bradley Anae.
And we didn't even bring up now.
Didn't bring him.
And mind you, we're going to get Randy back. That might be the strongest part of our roster.
Yeah. Yes.
The only thing I don't like about this roster is
That's
LP
not a
Ladder
perfect
Sword.
roster.
I don't like LP Ladder Sword.
You love him.
No.
Well, you always say that.
Right. He said, I don't like him. We love him.
He's solid, but he holding down the wrong number, man. 91.
Oh, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with LP Ladder? How you not
got to get rid of that number, man. That's too good of a number on him, though. But shout out to him, though.
They need to give Alden Smith 99, dog.
Yeah.
Well, Antoine Woods. He ain't coming here Debo Woods.
What you
Debo.
Twaka ain't with the shits.
Yeah. he was raised in the jungle.
Yeah. Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, Joe Thomas, Luke Gifford as your linebackers, with Sean Lee going to IR. We think Francis Bernard may come back. Somebody's come back.
Bernard Hopkins, baby. Or Bernard King.
In defensive backfield, we got Trevor Diggs, Cheeto, Jordan Lewis to IR, Anthony Brown. I think Jordan Lewis to IR. No one's confirmed it, though. Anthony Brown, Darryl Worley, Reggie Robinson, Xavier Woods, Donovan Wilson, Darian Thompson. I think the weakest spot on this entire team, guys, is safety. Gotta figure something out. Gotta figure something out.
Gotta figure out with safety.
All right, man. That's the roster for now. How y'all feeling, Cowboy Nation? Did y'all enjoy the show? This was kind of, like I said, a 53-man roster special. We weren't really going to open up the lines or anything like that. We just wanted to kind of go over each position, and I think we definitely attacked it in-depthly.
Yeah.
Y'all are beasts, man.
Yeah, you are beasts. Man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just. What they say? Deflect.
He deflagged. My biggest surprise out of today.
What's your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprise was Rico, and McKinnon is number 2 is my other surprise, and those are my two biggest surprise.
I would say Francis Bernard was my biggest surprise based off of everything we were hearing. I thought he for sure would make it, especially with Sean Lee potentially going to IR. Luke Gifford apparently hobbled. That was a surprise. And then obviously Lyle Collins going to IR, just alarming.
Yeah.
What's your biggest surprise, James?
I would definitely say Bernard, just because the hype train they were talking about him. And I think the Terrence Steele over Adam Redmond, because Steele wasn't, showing me, didn't hear anything about him, and for him to make the team, that kind of threw me off. So I think those two are the biggest guys for me, more than anything else. Everybody else seemed pretty normal. Obviously Lyle Collins, but that kind of just happened. Yeah. But that kind of
that's my biggest reservation. My biggest reservation is your second cousin, Terrence Steele.
Cuz?
Yeah, cuz,
He getting
you gotta call him up, man.
No, he big cuz.
Big cuz. Big little cuz.
Big little cuz, because I'm definitely older than him.
Big little cuz.
I don't look it, but yeah, man. I think
you 22.
Right. Got that vampire stuff going on, Scott.
Oh, wow, man.
Just bite him in the neck. He'll live another 100 years.
I listen. I think the bones of this roster, I like it. I like the bones. I like the structure of the roster.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to work on the depth a little bit on some of these positions, but again, I think that's every team. You're not gonna have a perfect roster. That's why you need coaching to overcome where you may have deficiencies. I don't think there's a ton of deficiencies on this roster at the structure of or at the core of it. It's more so the depth, and those are things that don't turn off. Those acquisitions are 24/7, 365. You got to continue to keep trying to find the best players that fit your team and go out there and try to get number 6.
Yes. Let me ask y'all this, though. I love the conspiracy of getting rid of CJ because he wore 29, and we're going to bring in the other guy that wore 29 for multiple teams, right? Earl Thomas. I love that. But outside of that move, if we do or if we don't make that move, do you guys feel in the deep parts of your heart, right? Do you guys feel that this is the 2020 Super Bowl roster for the Dallas Cowboys? Do you guys feel like all of these guys going to have a Lombardi a ring on their hand, a Super Bowl ring?
Go ahead, James.
I like that one. I saw you, Sky.
I'm not that dude, but go ahead.
I'm going to just say this. I said yesterday, I'm falling for the hype as far as my team because it's the first time I actually feel really, really good. Am I saying Super Bowl? I don't know about that because that just feels like that's scary to jump out there. But we definitely can do it because if you look across the board in the NFC, you can't tell me that we don't have the talent as good as any NFC team in the league. And we got the coaching to go with it. So I like our chances. But I'm going to say one thing. Mike McCarthy still got hot fish grease to you because this ain't something that, we're just figuring this out. You got to win now.
I'm never a Super Bowl guy. I hate that question at the beginning of the year because it's so much. It's so hard. It's so many things that go into winning the Super Bowl. And there's a point in time in the season that there's going to be a point where you don't even believe the team is going to. There was a point in time in the Chiefs season last year. You're like, they're not going to the Super Bowl. Defense sucks. There was a point in time in the Eagles season 2 years ago. They're not winning the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz got hurt. There's no way they're going to win the Super Bowl. Right? There's a point in time in a lot of these Super Bowl winning teams or Super Bowl winning performance season where you're like, nah, man, they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're going to win the Super Bowl. It's just too much. Holla at me come week 8 where we have a feel of this team and I can say, you know what, this is a Super Bowl team. What I think this team is, regardless of the depth that at certain spots that I think we need to kind of work on, I think this team is a contender in the NFC to be a problem. That problem could be second round and out. That problem could be NFC Championship game. But that's all. I can only go that far, y'all. It's August.
Let the manifestation.
It's September.
Settle,
we got a new staff.
Yeah.
It's I can't sit here and pretend.
Yeah,
I can't be fake about it. There are people that love to say Super, and that's cool. Please keep that mojo, keep that feel. But I'm gonna have to speak objectively, as you like to say. Objectively speaking, I have to see a whole lot more before I talk about Super Bowl for any of these Cowboys teams the last 10 years.
Yeah. And I like how you pieced everything. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. They got to see what we see, right, Sky and Big Game James? They got to have reservations on that front five as it relates to the offensive line. And they got to have reservations in that secondary. There's no way in life they look at this team and say, this Super Bowl ready. And I know we got to say, wait till week 8, week 9, but there's no way that they can say, well, we okay with this front five. But I can flat out say that I'm not worried about the quarterback. I'm not worried about the running back. I'm not worried about the trough of wide receivers we got. I'm not even worried about the tight end. And I'm definitely not worried about the defensive front. But deep down, and I'm not worried about the leg situation in the special teams core. But I am worried about this front five offensive line and the secondary. And that's even with the young phenom.
Hey,
I think he got a high skill.
Maybe these guys will prove that worry wrong. Got to see it. That's the thing. Like, we're being real. We gotta see it. Let's just be real.
Hey Scott, my last name is Thomas, and they said Thomas, when Jesus rose from the grave, Thomas said, "Look, let me see the hand. Let me feel the hand. Let me touch." You know, I'm doubting Thomas.
You're doubting Thomas.
I'm doubting Thomas all the way. Like, I want to see it.
All right, man. If you guys enjoyed this show, drop them fire emojis for us one time for the one time. Let me hit y'all with the explosives. Now drop the fire emojis if you think this thing was bumping. I think we had an excellent show. We broke it down as best as we could here. If you want to run it back, if you missed positions, we started from the quarterbacks, worked all the way down to the defensive side of the ball, and you can listen to us. But if I don't press this button, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't press this button. We ain't going nowhere. 2020 Cowboys roster for now. Hey, maybe we'll hop back on here for a breaking news in the next couple days.
Please, we'll jump right on here for that break.
I'll be like, oh. Y'all ready?
Yeah, we live.
Thank y'all for joining us, man.
On and everything.
Appreciate you, everybody. Salute. Peace.